The gag goat is a West Brom player, and oh my word, we are paying him a lot of money. And we'll also spend just under £100 million on him. Hey guys, and welcome back to the 20th episode of the FM23 West Brom Save with me, Raxo FM, where today we are versing Chelsea in our first Premier League game of the season, as well as going over every single transfer that we have made in and out during this window. There have been a lot of deals going across the line, and I'm sure you are excited about it. If you are, please make sure that you do smash the like button on today's video to celebrate the start of season number 5. Because we were in the Championship, Premier League, got relegated, Championship again, and then Premier League last season. So yeah, season number 5 in the save. Can we please smash 10 likes once again to celebrate starting the new season? And let's jump into it. A couple of keen-eyed viewers will notice something before even start talking about the transfers. We are now the England boss. I don't know how. I don't really know why. Actually, I do know why. They wanted a new manager, because they absolutely shanked their performance in the World Cup, losing to Haaland in the third round, and they wanted a new manager. And to be honest, I feel like it's kind of on theme with the West Brom save, and it's just a little something else to get going along the way. I won't play friendlies or anything, but if we get to a World Cup or the European Championships, I'll let you know about it. But I think it's just a cool thing to have. So we're also the England manager as we take on our West Brom role. And the signings that we have made have not been too England orientated, but they start all the way back in last season. First of all, we did make some sales, and I think the last one that I told you about was, I want to say, Getcha happened in the season where, no, it was Getcha. So George Sanchez has left the club for £9.75 million. We made, actually, I want to click on him because I want you to see this. We bought him in for a 0.25 profit for Hoffenheim, and then sold him for a 0.25 profit for us. So cool to see him slowly going up in value as his transfers progress. Lincoln has finally left the club for £8 million. Morgan Gibbs-White has gone out on loan to Middlesbrough for the season, and Ryan Brewster has left the club for £28 million. I'm very happy with the fee, and I did tell you in the last episode, he kicked up a fuss, didn't want to sign a new contract, so I'm happy I was able to cash in, but gutted that he is going in some ways because he was such an important player. But obviously we now have Gakpo, who I'm going to be playing in that striker role because he can play pretty well in that position. Even though he is more suited to the left wing, I think striker will be a great position for him, so that is where we're going to play him to start the season off. And he's not the only signing that we brought in to start the new season. We've also brought in Joe Scally, who was our very first player that we identified as a signing, and he comes in for just £9.5 million, could eventually rise to 12.5. He is a right back who can also play left back, young, got a bit of potential, and he's just a direct replacement for Sanchez, and I think a better player overall. So happy to welcome him to the club. Now we are onto this season, and we have made a lot of sales. Danny Ceballos has left the club for £7.75 million, a great wee profit there after bringing him in for 1.2 mil. Luke Kebba, who played for us last season quite a lot and was brought in for £11 million. I didn't think was going to get too many appearances this year, so I have sold him for a nice profit of about £3 million. Artur, who was brought on a free, again, another player that I couldn't see playing a whole lot of games this season, has been sold for £21 million. A great bit of business there by us. Then Ferguson has left the club for £375,000. 2 youngsters going out on loan once again. We managed to sell this youngster, who we brought in a couple seasons ago, for just £2 million, for £16.5 million. Now, he does still have some serious potential. When I sold him, actually, he had 4.5-star potential, but he is getting to the age where he's going to get a solid foundational potential instead of, the grayed out potential. I just can't see it being 5-star. I cannot see it. I think he'll be like a 3.5-star. So I thought, cash in on him now while he's still worth a lot of money, and I'm pretty happy to get £16 million for that man. We've also managed to sell Getcha for £8 million, gone out to Cagliari, brought him in for 650, another great profit there, and 2 players going out on loan here. So onto the signings. You know about Gakpo. What a signing he is going to be. I think he's going to be incredible for us. Next one is a man called Jurgen, who comes in from, I think, the Belgium division. Yeah, in real life, he might be playing for Ajax or Hertha Berlin, or maybe the Belgium division. I'm not certain. But yeah, he's got some decent stats about him, performing well in that league. I think he's a great rotation option, especially coming in on a free. I love to get one of these players a season in on a free because he'll be a great rotation option for us, and I'll sell him for a profit at the end of the season. We've managed to bring in this young central midfielder. Well, yeah, I guess he's more of a cam. A German man who comes in from Basel in the Switzerland division. £10.25 million, activated that release clause. I think he's got really nice stats, can instantly make an impact off the bench. I just think he's an overall bargain of a signing, able to play right wing as well. So a bit of versatility, don't mind if I do. Marco Verratti has also joined our club on a free, coming in from PSG. And he's just going to be a rotation option, but the stats that he has are very, very tidy. And only 33 years of age, not too old, not paying him very much at all. So I think this is a bit of a bargain as a rotation option too. Timber has joined the club, not to be confused with his brother, his twin brother, by the way, Jurien Timber. This is Quinton Timber, who is a CDM, central midfielder, and centre-back. So a lot of versatility there. I've realised he's a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none, to be honest, but I think he is great rotation option for us. £24 million could eventually, actually that's a flat fee, but we are paying him a lot of money. I do think he's probably expecting to be a starter, so we'll see how he goes. Maybe he'll jump into the first team at some point, but he does come in from Feyenoord, so he's not exactly had experience at this top division, so we'll rotate him into the squad first and see how that goes. We also managed to get this youngster in on a very cheap fee, actually, Simone, for only £7.25 million, a really good fee for a player with incredible stats already. Gone out on loan at Swansea and hopefully get some really good game time out there. Another youngster we brought in from the same club, Roma, comes in for just £13 million. I'm a little bit more worried because this man is 21, but his stats already suggest that he's going to be an elite centre-back. 14 marking, 17 tackle, just really good general stats for what you need to be a ball-playing defender or a central defender, you know. 13 first touch. He could start for us comfortably, I think. But we've given him a season out on loan at Ipswich in the Championship, and I'm sure he'll do a great job down there. And the last player that we signed is a centre-back, and this one comes in for just £20 million. Could eventually rise to 27 mil, but even that is a bargain for a player who is straight away our best centre-back, I think. We do have some very good centre-backs in the form of Anthony and Leo at the moment, but this man is the best of the bunch in my opinion. 24 years of age still, and he's got bags of ability, a wee bit of potential, paying him a lot of money, that's for sure, but he was wanted by some seriously good clubs, so I'm happy that we've managed to bring him in. And this is what our team is looking like after all those transfers. With a lot of new players coming in, we've got some on the bench like Scully, Timber, Verratti, Adriano, I'm just going to call him because that's much easier to say than his last name. And we have Jurgen all the way down in the reserves. I'd like to have Moriba on the bench, but he's actually not quite match fit at the moment, so I'm going to keep Verratti in that spot for this game. And Leo is out with an injury, but we have great cover in every single position. If we go to the squad planner, we can see, goalkeeper, obviously, we're a bit light, but it's what we want. Right back, we've got plenty of options. Centre back, we've got plenty of options. Left back, we've got plenty of options. DM, plenty of options. Central midfield, plenty of options. Central midfield, left wing, plenty of options. Right wing, plenty of options. And striker, probably our weakest position. I still think those three give you plenty of options. And we have a very decent team this year. Still keeping a lot of the same players. So we've got Mudryk, Edwards, Almada, Gallagher, Ryder, Miranda, Anthony, Royale, and Lafont. So only is there only two new players coming into the team? That makes me feel like I had an unproductive transfer window. But a lot of players on the bench that are going to be pushing for those first team spots. Two does make me feel like I should have done a wee bit better in the transfer window. But until we get European football, it's going to be difficult to attract those big name players. And we're going to jump into this first game feeling pretty good, I'm going to say. I think we will come away with the win. And we're going to give our new man Omer Agic. Omeragic. Don't think I'm saying that correct. Even his first name's not very easy. Besser, maybe? Omeragic. We're going to say Omeragic, and let me know down in the comment section below if you know how to say it instead. But we do have a very strong team. Even though we only brought in 2 new players this transfer window into the starting 11, I'm pretty happy with the deals that we have done. And we're versing a very strong Tottenham side, Chelsea side. I don't know where my mind was going there. And I do think if we manage to pull away with the result here, it will show the world we're of a quality now. We're at a level where we can push for these European spots, which I think should be our goal this year, especially with all the new signings that were brought in. Rotation options have plenty of depth to be able to be a great squad all throughout the year. Let's hope that does happen in this first game, as we have our first highlight headed wide of the post by, I can't even remember who that was, maybe Mudryk, maybe Gakpo, maybe Almada, I'm not sure, but it is Emerson Royale, I can tell you that for free, on the ball right now, plays it into Ryder, and Ryder plays it back to Emerson Royale, and we're knocking it around with just as much confidence as we did last season. Almada trying to kick off from an amazing year last year, incredible season for that man. Surely he can turn into one of the best players in the world if he keeps going like that. As Gakpo gets it into Almada, not quite, intercepted. And actually, Lukaku could be getting an opportunity for them, running down the left wing. He's not much of a crosser, but I think he's going to be able to get something in here. As Havertz, Sterling, wide of the post, luckily for us. But that really could have been our chance. And it was just a flying run down the wing for Lukaku. Just one pacey player from that Chelsea side to turn it all the way onto the other side, get us on the counter-attack. We do need to be careful of that because they have a quality side, and obviously they just need one chance to finish, and they can finish. So let's hope that doesn't happen much more in this first half, as we only have 46% possession. So actually, maybe we're the ones counter-attacking, and they're the ones just sitting back, holding on to the ball like they are right now in this highlight. And N'Golo Kanté still knocking around, playing for this Chelsea side, plays it into Havertz, back into Chilwell, into Antonio, I never heard of that player. Mount tries to find some space but can't. Plays it back into Lukaku. Mount gets it and wide of the target again. We are letting this Chelsea side do a decent job against us, but equally we are doing a decent job against them, coming up with our own opportunities like this one. Almada does lose it though, and N'Golo Kanté obviously still going to be the defensive tank that he's always been, and wins the ball against the experienced central midfielder for us. Havertz has it out to Chilwell. Chilwell onto Lukaku. Lukaku gets tackled but wins it straight back, and now they have a chance to swing it in the mixer. He is playing a bit of a interesting role here, but it seems to be working, as Lafont makes an incredible save to stop Mount from making it 1-0 on the night. And it is certainly a decent performance by this Chelsea side. I did think that we might be able to, come away with a comfy, 2-0 win or something like that in this game. But it does look like they're going to put up a pretty good fight, even though they are away from home, even though we have an incredible team. They have an incredible team too, and it's going to be tough to come away with a convincing win against them. But we're holding our own in this first half. It's pretty evenly matched. Possession is getting a wee bit more equal, and the shots are pretty equal. And I am still happy with the performance so far. We're dominating in some ways, but also letting them go in other ways. So let's hope that it just swings over our way for the second half, as I can already see it looks like it might be doing, with more shots coming our way very quickly, as Gakpo picks it up in the central attacking areas. Gallagher tries to find Gakpo, and he could have scored on his debut if he stayed onside there. That would be a great way to introduce yourself to the West Brom fans. In front of them, is he onside? He is onside. It is 1-0, and that is exactly what you want to be seeing from your central midfielder, by the way. Again, his first assist of the season, Gallagher, always putting those perfect balls over the top against his former club as well. And Gakpo, our striker, scoring, finishing his dinner on the first game of the season, making it 1-0 against a better side, arguably, than us, and doing the business. And now with 60 minutes gone, I'm thinking about making my substitutes and giving some players their debuts. Ryder not playing that insanely well in the DM spot, so he could be making way. Oh, there it is. Edwards with his first goal of the season. We all know how long it took him to get off the mark last year. And now, Gakpo just slides him through. He finishes his dinner. And I'd say he has proven to be a better signing than Mudryk. Mudryk has been a great player, but he's just been a bit hot and cold. Not been consistent enough for me. And it is proven by the fact that he hasn't scored in this game, and Edwards has scored. It shows a bit of quality. Umlay's also going to come on. Tim McGee in his debut. and we're rotating that team. And I'm going to... For reference, I paused it because I sneezed. Hopefully I cut it out just in time because I know that post-editing Raxo is not going to remember to cut that out if he doesn't see it. So 30 minutes to go, 2 substitutes made, a 2-0 lead, and a dominant second half performance, which is looking like it's going to be leading to a couple more opportunities here as Miranda marches forward, tries to find some space, and actually just keeps going it alone. Eventually he's going to whip it in. He doesn't find Gakpo, but he gets a second bite of the cherry. This time passes it into Mudryk. Mudryk wins a penalty, and I do not know who our best penalty taker is. It is... I'd say Almada. It is Almada. I do back him in today's game. I think he's going to score it. We're going to give it to him. His first goal of the season is coming up to make it 3-0, and that would look like a very convincing win. Even though it has been a bit shaky at times, a 3-0 lead is always a good lead, and it is the lead that we have right now. What a performance by the team so far. I am absolutely surprised by this. I know I did say I was hoping for some sort of like 2-0 convincing win, but after that first half, I didn't think it was going to come. But there must have been some serious disappointment in the team talk that has led this Chelsea side to be a little gutted with their performance, and we've got another penalty. Is that a handball or something like that? I mean, I'm happy for Almada to step up to the plate again. It is another penalty. And Almada could get a double from the penalty spot in the first game of the season. He steps up. Is he going to put it in the same spot? He does. And he sends the keeper the other way. And that's 2 goals for him in the game and 2 goals for him in the season. We're going to bring Mudryk off, bring Hall on, give him a chance in that left wing spot. We're also going to bring Skelly on for his first game as a West Brom player. And ride out these last 20 minutes. A 4-0 lead looks incredible to start the year, but obviously we do know it's probably a little bit flattering to us, but we'll still take it. Up and around that second place spot right now after beating one of the best teams in world football. Jorginho does have it. Lafont, another fine save by that man. He is an incredible goalkeeper. We are holding on to him for dear life because he keeps getting bids from like Manchester United, Tottenham, all the incredible sides. Juventus, I think, came in from... he's a decent goalkeeper, and there's a reason why there's bids coming in from him. But we just keep rejecting him. 54 million, I think, is the biggest one I can remember. But there's no way I'm letting him go. Plays too well for us, and he is such a key part of our squad. I don't think we'd be able to find a goalkeeper as good as him. Ended up being a wonderful signing in that first season in the Prem. So, we're definitely going to keep a hold of him for as long as we can. As Chilwell has it, playing it back to Antonio, Kante, Jorginho. If we can win this back, get one more chance, make it 5-0, that would be a serious embarrassment. I feel like 4-0 is already pretty embarrassing, but we have done it. We've won it back. And Gakpo could be through here to get his second of the night. Oh my goodness. It is 5-0. 5-0. We have a chance of being an incredible team this year, boys and girls. I told you we just needed to make a couple of tweaks. I told you we already had a good squad, and I know we didn't end up getting that European spot that we wanted last year. By the way, 7th and 8th place last year turned into European qualification squad, so absolutely gutted we didn't even get that. But it's the luck of the draw, and I tell you what, this year it means we can just focus on the league, focus on beating these incredible sides like Chelsea, and getting 5-0 wins on the first day of the season. Don't spoil the fun by getting a consolation here. Oh, for goodness sake! Well, that's just annoying for like a, the perspective of clean sheet, but 5-1, still a great result. A bit of lack of focus at the end, but I'm still taking that as an incredible win. 5-1 on the first day of the season. Absolutely thrilled with the performance out there, boys. Great performances by some of the debutants. Great performances by some of the OGs. And it is Gakpo winning the Man of the Match award. 2 goals, 1 assist. What a way to start your career at West Brom. And he is already considered to be a good Premier League player. I feel like that is going to be changing as time goes on, as he keeps performing the way that he is. And I'm sure he will be considered one of the best in the Prem. But for now, we're going to simulate, I think, all the way to this Man City and Arsenal, because I think those are going to be 2 sides that are going to give us real trouble this year. And I honestly back us against most sides now. Brighton should be a win. Crystal Palace should be a win. All of these teams should be a win. Liverpool might be a bit of a challenge, but obviously that's quite close to this game. So, not a lot of simulation in between. Still could be transfers in between those games. So make sure you do come back. We do still have quite a bit of transfer budget to spend. Not too many people I'm actually targeting, though, to be honest. But obviously, if people pop up, I'm not going to say no. I would appreciate another winger. I'd say maybe even a replacement for Mudryk, because I don't rate him that highly now. I think, spending that £40 million on him could eventually rise to 64. It does frighten me a wee bit, because there's a lot of money to spend on a player that hasn't been that insane. But I mean, that's a decision for future Rack. So for now, we're celebrating. What a way to start the season. If you haven't enjoyed it, smash the like button, as well as subscribing to the Rax FM YouTube channel so you don't miss more Football Manager content just like this. And I will see you all later.